morning and welcome back. I trust you guys had a great week. At least I hope you did. And I hope that you have a great weekend coming up. I hope you get to do everything you want to do. You get to relax, you get to play and not work so much. So hopefully that's what you're going to do. We are going to start out this Saturday, as we always do, with the subscriber spotlight. The first one for today is Debbie Kahn, and she is from Collinsville, Oklahoma. She has submitted a picture, and this quilt, y'all, is her first one ever. First one. She did such a good job that no one would ever have guessed this was her first quilt, but it was. She was asked to be a pattern tester, and that's what she did. So she is now becoming a quilter and apparently loving it because she's doing a great job. Y'all, look at this quilt. The next subscriber we have is Sissy Ann. She has made a quilt for her youngest daughter, and it's a pumpkin quilt. Bright colored pumpkin quilt, and it is beautiful. She submitted several pictures for us to look at on this quilt. She has quilted it from her domestic Baby Lock Jazz sewing machine. She's done a wonderful job. She said she has 3 more to go before Christmas, and she said she's going to be busy getting those done, and I bet she will. She is making them for her 2 daughters, her granddaughter, and her grandson's fiance. So what a wonderful gift all of those people will be receiving on Christmas morning. I'm sure they will love them. She's done a great job on this one, and well, let's take a look. The next subscriber is Heidi Cassidy. She comes into the shop and she brought in 4 quilts to be quilted by us. So we quilted them. The one, there's a flower one, that is hers. The other 3 are her grandchildren's. The blue one was made by James, who is 12 years old. The teal one was made by Adina, who is 10 years old. And the black one was made by Hayden, who is 10 years old as well. Look at what a good job these kids did on these quilts. This was their first one ever. She said they had a great job doing it, and I hope that they continue because they did such a great job. Check these out. I couldn't believe they were made by kids. They did such a good job. I really do hope that they continue with this because, well, they did a good job. It's a great hobby, and apparently they're really good at it. So thank you for all of your submissions. All of these today were wonderful. We appreciate it. If you want to be a subscriber on next week's episode, by all means, send us your quilts or your crocheted items or whatever it is you're working on, whatever it was you were gifted, whatever it was that you just have that you love that someone's made for you or you've made. Send those pictures in to sewcharmingquiltshop@gmail.com. We would love to see them. You guys inspire us with all of your projects, and well, we just like seeing them as well. So send those in and we would appreciate that. For now, we need to move on to our project. Today's project is run over from last week. Last week we started the Grinch quilt, and we're gonna keep working on that. We have a few more blocks, more than a few more blocks to do, but we got some blocks to make. So today we're gonna make one of those blocks. This week I had all intentions of making another block and submitting it, but the week came by and the week went. So it was crazy this week. I didn't get around to it. I will get to it. I need to get this one finished because it is going to be such a cute quilt. So let's move on over to the sewing machine and get started with the next block. Well, we are ready to make our quilt block, but first, I forgot to show you something. Look at the sweatshirt that Emily made me. Isn't it adorable? I love it. Thank you, Emily. So now on to our block. We are going to make the first Grinch block for this week, and we've already cut our fabrics. This is going to be my center square, and it's 4 3/4 inches. So that's my center square. I did it the same way I did the last one. It's going to be sitting on point like this. So I kind of picked what piece I wanted to cut out, and that's what I've cut out. So there's my center of my block. Then I'm going to need 4 of the 3.5 inch white squares, because white is my background. You don't have to use white, but white is my background. So there are 4 3.5 inch squares. Then I've got 2 3.5 inch squares that I'm going to subcut diagonally from one corner to the other. Then I've got these pieces that are directional, so I had to cut them 2 different ways, and these are 3.5 by 6.5. So I needed 2 going this way and 2 going this way because I didn't want my trees going like that. So 2 are this direction and 2 are this direction. If you're not using a directional piece, then it doesn't matter. Just cut 4 3.5 by 6.5 inch rectangles. So let's get on to the making of this block. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 squares that I needed to subcut. These are 3.5 inch squares. I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to go from one corner to the other corner, and I'm going to cut them one time like that so that I've got 4 triangles. So I've got those. Then I've got my white squares, I've got my rectangles with the trees, and I've got that center piece. So now we're ready to put it together. I'm going to put it together by taking this piece in the middle. That's my center. I'm going to take these triangles and I'm going to put them around this green square, the center square, like so, so that now it's a square. That's the center of my block. I'm going to take my 2 upright trees and put them on the sides, and I'm going to take my 2 trees that are this direction and do them like this. And then I'm going to take my corner pieces and fill them in like so. And just like that, we've got our block. This is going to be one of the easiest blocks we do. So let's get started sewing it. And I think what I'm going to start with, I'm going to move it over just a little bit so I can sew, is I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. So I'll take this piece and this piece, put them right sides together, line them up, and stitch down this side. Everything we're doing, as always, in this quilt is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to sew that. Then I'm going to take this one that goes right there, put it right sides together and sew it. And all of these blocks that we're making, you don't have to use it with a panel, Grinch or whatever. You could do a whole quilt of this, of just fun different block print, different fabric prints or a fabric line, whatever. This would also be fun to do as a I Spy. So just lots of ideas to do with these. Then I am going to iron it open. and put it back where it goes, which is right up there. I'm going to take this next row and I'm going to start in the center. So I'll take this one and then put it on this side, line it up, sew it down. Then I'm going to take this piece that's directly across from it, and I'm going to do this piece. You don't want to do this piece then this piece. You need to do this piece first. So I'll put this one here. Doesn't matter which side you go with, just make sure that you do the one across from each other first. And then I'm going to iron it open. Then it's like that. So I'll take this piece here, do the same thing. Line it up, sew it, and then when I get this one done, I'll do the one across from it. This is a really good beginner block. And it's really cute. So now I've got that. You don't have to, but you guys know me. I cannot stand these little dog ears. So I got to get rid of them. I don't really have to, but they drive me crazy. So I'll get rid of those. Then I'll take this piece and line it up to the side here. And I will stitch down this side. Iron it open. And I'll do the same thing with this piece. Line it on this side, right sides together, line it up, and stitch down this side. Then when I get done with that, I will iron it open, line it up where it goes, and do the same thing with this bottom. Right sides together, line this up, sew down this line, this side. Do the same thing with this side. And then I'll iron it open. And now all three of my rows are done. I'll just sew my rows together. So this is where I'll break out my pins. I'll flip this top row onto the middle row. Line these seams up, roll them to the top, pin it. I've got one seam going this way and one seam going that way. Now I'll pin the end, line these up. One seam's going one way and one's the other way. And now we stitch down this side. Like always, I will iron it open. And then I'll do the same thing for the bottom piece. So I'll flip this right side up. Line those seams up. Pin them. Line it up. Pin it. I don't necessarily have to pin the ends. I just did the last time. But you can or you don't have to. Then I will iron this open. And if you haven't set a seam before, if you'll iron it like this piece right here that I'm about to flip open, if you'll iron it like this first, like watch. Let me just move this over here. If you'll iron it just like this before you open it, then open it, then iron it again, it makes it a flatter seam to me, like a better press. So there you have it. There's our block. Quick and easy. So that is it for this week's block. I hope you liked it. I hope you make it with me. I am going to try my best to get some more videos out there of the different blocks that we're going to make to put with this panel, this Grinch panel, because, well, it's getting really close to Christmas really fast. And, well, I'd really like to have this one done before Christmas. So that's my goal. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm going to try. It might end up being next Christmas, but, you know, my goal right now is still for this Christmas. So we are going to try to keep on board with that plan. But if you want to make these blocks with me, please do. We will have fun with them. You will like them. You can do them with any other kind of prints. You don't have to do the Grinch. Do whatever you want, and it'll be fun. It'll be cute. You'll learn something along the way, and hopefully you're having fun with it. But for right now, that's all I got for you. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Have a great Thanksgiving this next week. And, well, as always, happy quilting.